ball in the Netherlands with Ajax. Now Mascherano has it forward. Lionel Messi will pick up possession and then saunter. Just goes up from first gear to second. I don't know whether he's got a third and fourth, because he always can just step it up from second to fifth so easily. Frantically backpedaling, threw himself at it, but it cleared 1-1.
Yeah, I think the goalkeeper's efforts at diving there made that look closer than it actually was. Well and truly wide. You're just looking at Messi. All he's looking to do is the other side of the midfield players. So he's got 8 players between him and the goal, and he's looking to just commit someone and play that little give and go, follow his pass. Very clever player.
Otamendi got done there by Finnbogason, and the ball goes through past him and past Magnusson, the left back, who's covering so much ground. He will make a long run forward from left back to get on the end of the goal kick. Bjarnason just drifts in behind him and fills in at left back when he does so, but he doesn't half cover a lot of ground to get there. Magnusson. Argentina have possession on halfway. Mascherano receiving the ball from Bilia. And then it's played down towards the right-hand touchline for Salvio. Salvio of Benfica. Can't find a way past Bjarnason. Lays it back to halfway. But Otamendi will be able to bring it forward. Argentina haven't failed to get out of the group since 2002, when they finished third behind England. The only time in the recent past that they've lost the game in the group stages. Now a long, potent diagonal ball forward, trying to get Mesa. Making a run in off the left back Magnusson, but he stretched and couldn't get on the end of the through ball. Beats everybody and goes out of play for a goal kick. 1-1.
Because Argentina have got such comfortable possession just inside the Icelandic half, they've got to be careful, Iceland. There's numbers there, and they've got every player between the ball and the goal. But you've just got to watch out for those little runs that we just saw there. Players, you think there's no danger because there's no pressure on the ball. They can play the pass whenever they want.
In terms of possession, 75-25 at the moment in Argentina's favour, but the shot count is remarkably level, 8-7 to Argentina. 1-1 the scoreline, as Argentina in all black, their change kit, can bring it forward with Sergio Aguero, the scorer of their goal. Back from him to Mascherano. Mascherano forward again to Aguero. And Aguero can make ground towards the edge of the penalty area before just dropping the ball at the feet of Mesa. Again, coming into a narrow position to allow Salvio space outside him. Back from Salvio to Mesa, and back again. And again. So Mesa now in possession. Just the second time he's started a game for his country today. The ball played out towards the left-hand touchline. Messi will pick it up before it gets too far. Tagliafico drifted off to find space. Ball worked into the feet of Di Maria instead. Back from him to Bilia, to Otamendi, and then back out towards Aguero. Aguero to Tagliafico. Di Maria wants it into feet. That's the pass that is played on the corner of the penalty area. Another little give and go around the edge of the box. Messi does well to link it up. Otamendi coming forward. Argentina trying to compress Iceland back inside their own final third. Mesa with a low, potent cross is swept away by Ragnar Sigurdsson, and then high up in the air it's headed away by Magnusson, brought down on his chest very neatly by Otamendi, who on the half volley then steers it away from Finnbogason, the scorer of the Iceland goal. Back to Otamendi. Otamendi to Rojo, now to Mascherano, and Mascherano will bring the ball forward over the halfway line before popping it out towards the right-hand side for Salvio. Salvio back for Otamendi on halfway. The whole picture opens up ahead of him as he brings it forward, plays through the lines to find Messi. Iceland still so regimented, know their jobs in any given scenario. Again, Messi will be able to pick it up and play it out towards the far touchline. Tagliafico waits in front of just a little pocket of Icelandic supporters. The ball played back in field towards Messi. Messi to Salvio. Salvio to Mesa. Coming in off that right flank, but he's all right foot. Angle opened up for a left-footed shot, but instead he's gone square for Mascherano. And now to be played forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Aguero back in towards Messi, and again, big roar as he almost got there. Mascherano will be able to pick it up after Iceland cleared from the first phase of play. Tagliafico working it wide again. An opportunity for Di Maria to face up and try and take on Syverson. Pull back from him to Mascherano. Change of direction from Mascherano with a lofty square 70-yard pass out to the Argentine right. Salvio controls it and goes back through the midfield for Otamendi. Mascherano now with the bulbing pate plays it out towards the left-hand touchline for Tagliafico. Again, stationed in front of that a little pocket of dark blue shirted Icelandic supporters. Di Maria takes it on down towards the byline. Left-footed ball clipped back. Messi was waiting for it. Halfredson, the defensive shield, is there to clear and put it straight out of play. Just hoof it off the island anywhere will do for a throw which Tagliafico will take briskly on the Argentine left. And Iceland can't get out of their own half at the moment with 8 minutes to go to half-time at 1-1.
No, the decent play they had for their goal, the interchange in midfield, Sigurdsson being instrumental in that, bringing it up. They've not been able to string 2 or 3 passes together and get a foothold in it. They've been penned back that far at this moment in time.
Sergio Aguero finds Billier. Billier goes square to his right-hand side. Salvio now pops it off to Mesa. Mesa again coming in from the right-hand touchline to create space for the fullback to make an overlapping run. Mascherano will be able to pick it up. Mascherano forward for Marcus Rojo. Di Maria very quickly made a burst down the left-hand side of the penalty area. Messi's got it. Ball in to feet. Gets it back again. This is dangerous. He's got a corner no more as he tried to whip it in with his left foot. Corner will be taken on the Argentinian left-hand side. And it'll be a right-footed in-swinging delivery towards the near post, which is headed away. Brought back down on the left-hand side of the penalty area. Another opportunity to try and make headway, but it's whacked away right-footed through the midfield by Gudmundsson. Boos and whistles from the Argentine support at the rudimentary defensive tactics of Iceland, who are happy just to get the ball out of harm's way when it comes around the edge of the penalty area. Messi can't find a way through this time, and it will be cleared right-footed by Arneson all the way through for Caballero. Caballero's ball forward, and now Mascherano will have it. Mascherano inside the centre circle, square to his right-hand side. Otamendi down towards Salvio. Salvio coming in off the right flank away from Bjarnason. Play forward towards Mascherano. 5.5 minutes to go to half-time. 1-1 here in Moscow with Marcus Rojo making his way forward. He's 15 yards inside the Icelandic half. Mascherano to Messi. Messi with Salvio to his right-hand side. Salvio takes it on towards the edge of the penalty area. Now plays in Mesa. Mesa wraps his foot around it. Sliding challenge comes in on the corner of the 6-yard box. They want a penalty. Belia was the player that went down. He's only got a corner out of it, which will be Argentina's 5th. And will be taken this time on the right-hand side. The first one on the right-hand side. So the replay shows that Ragnar Sigurdsson did win the ball after a fashion. Of course, VAR will be looking at all of these incidents in real time. They'll very quickly, if there's anything controversial, spool back and have a look. But at the moment, they are just checking for the potential foul. They're happy. The check is over, and play will continue with the corner. Referee Marciniak's called it correctly at first time of asking. 40 gone, 1-1. Corner comes in, comfortably claimed by Hal Dawson, who will catch it and just wait for players to push forward upfield. And it will be knocked away. Eventually, just going to throw it out towards the right-hand side for Syverson. Syverson playing it forward towards halfway for Gylfi Sigurdsson, whose work really has been an has been able to do anything going forward up to this point. Still, they've got the ball with Mascherano. Mascherano down to the right. Salvio. We're off on both lines now.
Attention, sports fanatic peoples of England.
The football revolution is here.
Every game, every goal, every day.
Talk Sport.
Well, our sincere apologies for the technical difficulties. They're just having another look at VAR for a potential penalty for a handball this time, as the sliding Icelandic defender, in trying to get the ball out of play, saw the ball come back off his arm, and again the check is over, no penalty. In comes the resulting corner from Mesa, headed disappointingly over the bar by Belia for a corner, for a goal kick, which will be taken by Halderson. So apologies for the technical gremlins here in Moscow. You haven't missed anything of consequence. 3 minutes to half-time. It's Argentina 1, Iceland 1.
Sigurdsson's just gone to ground and he's trailing as the ball's ricocheted through his legs. His trailing arms just caught the ball. Definitely not intentional, and good decision by the ref.
Ragnar Sigurdsson, the centre-half, who had a handful of games at Fulham on the back of Euro 2016. The man that scored the first goal for Iceland in that famous win in Nice against England. He's played it for his namesake Gylfi Sigurdsson. Back for Ragnar Sigurdsson again. Exchanging passes with Halfredsson in the midfield. Now Gylfi Sigurdsson can bring it forward, down towards the left-hand touchline for Magnusson. Magnusson to Halfredsson. Plays his club football these days in Italy with Udinese. Bjarnason chipping it inside the centre circle for Arnason. Arnason able to bring it forward. This is the most sustained spell of Icelandic possession that we've seen for about 10-15 minutes, and they're making good ground up the right-hand touchline now with Gudmundsson. Gudmundsson trying to get to the byline, chips it inside the penalty area, headed away though by Rojo, and out of play for a throw on the Iceland right.
Long throw's going to come in now. This will be interesting just on half-time. I was a little bit disappointed he didn't put the cross in earlier. I thought he should have got it out his foot and put the cross in earlier. He's decided to go on a bit of a run, and then the cross wasn't so good.
So another opportunity for Gunnarsson's long throw. And Magnusson, the tall left-back, stands with Gudmundsson in front of the goalkeeper. Plenty come to attack it, including Arnason. It was knocked away. Aguero clears the second time of asking. And there's a rarity. Messi's control just slightly let him down. A difficult one for him to bring out of the sky. But it rolled away. Syverson could mop up and play it back to his goalkeeper. 90 seconds to go to half-time. There have been a couple of VAR incidents, and as a consequence there may be a little bit of time to be added on at the end of the first half. Certainly no more than 2 minutes. And Halderson will clear forward towards Magnusson, the tall blonde-haired fullback, beaten in the air this time by Otamendi, but he's won a throw which will be taken on Iceland's left-hand side. In the 45th minute of an intriguing first half, which saw Aguero put Argentina a goal up, Finnbogason equalising 4 minutes later for Iceland. Magnusson won't launch a long one inside the penalty area, but he's got plenty of targets ahead of him. In fact, he's elected to go square into space for Ragnar Sigurdsson. Syverson then plays it forward. Finnbogason can bring it down left-hand side of the air. It's lovely control, not such a good pullback, but Gylfi Sigurdsson takes it on. It's knocked away by the goalkeeper. Finnbogason was just shoulder charged there inside the box by Mascherano. No foul. Referee saw it for what it was, and then has given a free kick for a handball against Messi on halfway.
I think that's obstruction on what I've just seen in the box there. I think that's a free kick, whether he gives it indirect or probably more so a penalty. He's took the line of the player out, I think, trying to get the ball.
Well, nothing was given. Free kick on halfway is launched on by Magnusson, helped on towards Ragnar Sigurdsson on the edge of the penalty area. He couldn't quite get it into his stride, and Gylfi Sigurdsson hits a half volley, dipping wide of the left-hand post.
Iceland have rarely been in Argentina's box, but every time they get in the box, Jim, they look as though they're going to score a goal. They really do. The goalkeeper's not giving me any confidence.
Into stoppage time and just 1 additional minute to be added. Mascherano has it on the edge of the D. We'll play it out to the left-hand side for Rojo. Rojo back for Mascherano. He's a half that has panned out really in terms of the way the game has been played, as we would have expected, with Argentina having so much of the possession, keeping a high line. Iceland showing that they have the ability to expose a creaky back line that have hardly played together and don't look certain about anything that's coming their way. And Willy Caballero doesn't look like a gnarled old 36-year-old on this his competitive international debut. He's had a half to forget at the moment. As Magnusson plays it forward, the last touch of the first half, and they go off the field dead level. Aguero's brilliant goal Equalised 3.5 minutes later by Alfred Finnbogason, the biggest goal in Icelandic football history. And at half-time, it's Argentina 1, Iceland 1.
Just to let you know, Peru against Denmark and then Croatia against Nigeria. Adrian Durham will be in the chair for those two at 5 and at 8 o'clock tonight. Tomorrow we've got 3 more massive games. Costa Rica, Serbia in Group E, and then Group F. Germany against Mexico, and then again it's Group E, Brazil against Switzerland, Rostov-on-Don with Adrian Durham, Ian Danta and Matt Holland. And then finally next Monday we come to England after Sweden against South Korea at Nizhny Novgorod at 1 o'clock, and then the 2 games in Group G, Belgium against Panama and Tunisia against England to come in Volgograd with the 3 of us. I know they sort of parked the bus a little bit. Let's get some half-time thoughts on all of that with the Co-op.
Half-time on TalkSport in partnership with the Co-op. Visit your local Co-op and grab all you need for the big match. Football's better together at the Co-op.
Really aware, though, of everything. I'm fascinated to watch the way that Iceland play, you know. I mean, defensively, they know exactly what they're doing. And just at the end there, where they eventually created a chance, that was a move that they've already done in training. That fast, brisk throw from this touchline, basically 3/4 of the way across the pitch straight away, and the 11 had made the run in the box, and immediately he's hit him. They knew exactly what they were doing. They've got so many different little bits and aspects of ways of getting through, haven't they?
They certainly have. I mean, they are so well drilled as a team. It's incredible. Players go forward, someone will fill in for them. A midfield player will fill in. The gaps between the lines is minimal, so Argentina find it very, very difficult to get in there. And when you see the contrast between Iceland and how well drilled they are compared to the Saudi Arabians of the first game, how fragmented they were, the lines were not together, they were dropped off. Iceland, incredible, and they'll be absolutely delighted to go in one, especially after going a goal down, to go in 1-1.
Yeah, no, I mean, that was the thing, wasn't it, as well with that, because to come back that quickly, I mean, yes, at times Argentina do look great on the break and up front and what they're having to do, but they've got to play a patient game here, because you can see them getting caught at the back if they don't watch out. Every
time that ball flashes in and around the penalty area of Argentina, they look nervous. The goalkeeper doesn't fill you with confidence, and Iceland set up in a full court press from goal kicks, as much to say, you give it away, we got some football in us as well, you know.
Great goal though by Aguero.
Fantastic goal. Receipt, I was just saying at the time, it's a difficult position when you're a striker in a game where teams bank up. You don't see a lot of the ball, but you've got to keep continually moving and looking for that one opportunity to receive defeat in the box, and when you do, finish like that.
Got to stay cool. Iceland doing that at the moment. We're going to stretch and test the Argentinian coolness as well in the second half. What a second half we've got for you here in Moscow at the Spartak Stadium with Jim and with Stuart. And it's next here on TalkSport. That was a look back at the first half with the Co-op. Football is better together at the Co-op.
Half-time on TalkSport in partnership with the Co-op. Visit your local Co-op and grab all you need for the big match. Football's better together at the Co-op.
Goalkeeper Caballero gets away with it, sliding it out. Gunnarsson will play it forward. 11.
Because a day without you in my life, I don't know how, man. And I was like, oh, 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 oh. You like, no, oh, no, oh. I was like, oh, 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 oh. You like, no, oh, no, oh. So my lips rewind till I smile. That look upon your face, my heart is empty and unguided, I'm blind leading chase. Thought I had a plan with you and me. Was a villain of my own dream, breaking me down to my knees. it is young, be nothing. It's got nothing left to say. And I was like, hey, 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 hey. Oh, 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 oh. You were like, hey, 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 hey. No, oh, no, oh. I was like, hey, 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 hey. Oh, 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 oh. You were like, hey, 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 hey. No, oh, no, oh. Come on, let's rewind till I smile on that look upon your face. My heart is empty and unguided. I'm blind, needing change. Thought I had wrap me up in your saffron skies. And as the world spins to life, there's a chance for you and I to begin again, to begin again. Oh yeah, every single sunrise is a chance for you and I to begin again, to begin again. Oh yeah, every single sunrise is a chance for you and I to begin again.
Experiences in tournaments. You've played in them, you've also been on the bench in tournaments as well.
Illuminate dreams of the night. Wrap me up in your saffron skies. And as the world
Another beautifully warm sunny day here. Of course, we do get the sea breeze coming in off the Gulf of Finland, but I'm sure the England players will be happier to find those relatively cooler temperatures down in Volgograd, and that's really why we're here, because I think Southgate was wary of maybe going down to somewhere like Sochi, training in really warm conditions every day. Here, it's been really good for them, and I think the players at the moment are in a very good place heading into this first game. But of course, as we've seen with England in the past, a slow start in a tournament and things can very quickly fall apart. So Gareth Southgate will be hoping to learn lessons from the very recent history.
For the moment, Nigel, thank you very much indeed. That's all the very latest with Nigel Adley and your England Insider update with Direct Line Van Insurance. Well, just below us on the monitor, I can see the Argentinians are ready to come back out for the second half. The pitch is almost totally in shade. Who's going to put who in shade here? This could still go either way. Stuart Pearce and Jim Proudfoot.
Well, Jorge Sampaoli was out early, the Argentinian coach, just sitting motionless in the technical area down beneath us. I think that he will have seen that things that will have encouraged him, but he will also have seen plenty of things away to his left-hand side in that first half, Stuart, that will have discouraged him, because the defensive insecurities that have blighted Argentina in recent times have been there for all to see. They shipped 6 in a game against Spain earlier this year, and they could have shipped 3 in that first half to Iceland.
Yeah. Gilt-edged chance of Bjarnason was missed very, very early on. And every time they get bodies up in and around the penalty area, Iceland, they look as though they really trouble Argentina. And from their point of view, Iceland probably need to maybe deliver some more throw-ins in there, great opportunities. If they get corners, get bodies in the box, I think they've got aerial supremacy as well against Argentina, but there's a real worry in that back line.
Argentina's other age-old problem has been the ability to be able to harness Lionel Messi's genius. We saw him drop off and get plenty of possession, but where he was picking up possession was too deep really for him to make a major impact on a consistent basis. So how they're just going to sit with these banks of 4?
I think it's a rotation thing. We've seen on occasion Aguero come from being the highest up. He's come beyond the midfield to pick up, and they need to find a rotation where Messi goes beyond him, he comes back, and the wide players come off their perch and get in that area. And it's the movement and the clever little 1-2s of what they've got to be good at to break this Icelandic back line down.
Well, it's been a very long half-time interval. The Argentina players were out a couple of minutes ago. Now the Icelandic counterparts join them as well. We've already had an 18-minute break. 4 Iceland players are out and just slowly beginning to make their way out of the tunnel, away to our right-hand side in dribs and drabs. This is how the two teams line up. Caballero in goal for Argentina. Salvio, Otamendi, Rojo and Tagliafico, the back 4. Mascherano and Belia in the heart of the midfield. Mesa and Di Maria out wide with Messi in support of Aguero. Haldarsson in goal for Iceland. Syversen, Arneson, Ragnar Sigurdsson and Magnusson. Then Gudmundsson, Gunnarsson, Halfredsson and Bjarnason. Gylfi Sigurdsson then playing in support of the man who's the striker, Alfred Finnbogason, but to be honest, even he has been much nearer his own penalty area than the one he's attacking. For scored though, cancelling out Sergio Aguero's goal. And the second half gets underway. Argentina in all black, having 90% of the support and 75% of the possession, but there's nothing between them in terms of chances or goals. 1-1 at the start of this second half, and Argentina kicking from right to left, and away to our left-hand side. Big bank of Argentinian support behind that end that's being defended by the goalkeeper Hannes Haldarsson in this second half. Otamendi has possession. Iceland in their change kit as well of predominantly white, just a little bit of dark blue on the sleeves and some very light blue trim. Otamendi brings the ball over the halfway line into the Icelandic half of the centre circle, goes square to his right-hand side for Salvio. Salvio back for Otamendi, who's put under immediate pressure by Finnbogason. Gylfi Sigurdsson then likewise tries to get possession off Belia. But Belia's been able to keep the ball. Find Mascherano in his white boots down to Tagliafico, who's similarly clad. Aguero in a dark green boot, just drops off, plays it back from Mascherano again. Messi playing it for Aguero, begins to open up from on the edge of the D, out to the right-hand side of the penalty area. They're getting bodies forward quickly. Fought away, Matt, in the middle. Halfredsson blocks the cross, and then Magnusson will be able to head it away. Only out as far as Salvio, and the fullback will have another opportunity. This time, he doesn't play the ball in. He's gone deeper, plays it back through the midfield for Belia. Belia to Otamendi, now to Mascherano. The referee just has to take evasive action and make sure he doesn't block a ball intended for Angel Di Maria. Di Maria picks it up and finds Mascherano to Aguero, 10 yards outside the penalty area. Back from him to Mascherano. Again, looks to clip it out towards the right-hand side. Salvio's certainly seeing plenty of the ball, and the right-back makes his way forward to the corner of the penalty area here. Once more Iceland just shuffling across, restricting the space. So well drilled, keeping the angles tight and restricting the amount of opportunity that Argentina have to play perceptive passes. Di Maria, though, has it. Left-hand side of the area, drop of the shoulder, wins the corner by playing it in. His cross deflected behind by Arneson.
Yeah, key for Argentina is keep probing that ball, keep moving it, but rotation of players is absolutely vital, and they're relying on one of the Iceland players just switching off, maybe one of the wide players not tracking his fullback back in.
Mesa stands at the near post. The ball is delivered deeper than that and headed over the bar by Otamendi, who jumps up and down on the spot in frustration at his inability to get his header on target.
Yeah, he's been pretty crucial for Argentina. I think we know he can score a goal. Certainly we've seen that domestically. Got on the end of that one really well, but didn't get above it. And also defensively as well, when they're tossing balls in the box, Argentina will rely on him getting his head on things.
Otamendi played at the 2010 World Cup, 3 games there. He didn't feature in 2014, but back in the fold in the starting lineup for this, their first game of the campaign. Next up, Croatia on Thursday, followed by a trip to St. Petersburg to take on Nigeria on the 26th. And those two sides, Croatia and Nigeria, the other two teams in Group D, meet later tonight, 8 o'clock your time. And we've got it live for you here on TalkSport. Alan Parry talking through the action of that one And our fourth game today on TalkSport in the 2018 FIFA World Cup. After this one, it's Peru against Denmark with Adam Bridge and David Connolly, the former Republic of Ireland World Cup striker. Halfredson has the ball in the midfield for Iceland. Played for by Gunnarsson. Finn Borisson does well with his back to goal. Links it up with Gylfi Sigurdsson. Bjarnason plays the ball down the left-hand side of the area. Gylfi Sigurdsson runs, gets there first. Past Mesa. Pull back Bjarnason inside the penalty area. Finn Borisson waits 6 yards out. Didn't attack the ball, almost inexplicably. Maybe he thought he was offside. But the ball drifted past him over his head and straight out of play for a throw. And Bjarnason looks at him, hands outstretched. Why didn't you attack it, he's saying. Ball is cleared by Tagliafico towards halfway. Headed down by Ragnar Sigurdsson. Finds his centre-half partner, Kari Arnason, who scored in his last international against Ghana. The ball played for by Syverson, the right back, showing a few more signs of attacking intent in the second half, Iceland. Is certainly encouraged by the fact that when they do get the ball around the edge of the penalty area, Argentina looks so shaky. Ragnar Sigurdsson in the sunshine, working it out towards the left-hand side where Magnusson brings it forward. Takes a deflection off an Argentinian player. Otamendi stops it going out of play for what will be Iceland's first corner. Might wish that he hadn't, because Gylfi Sigurdsson's picked it up and runs around the first challenge. Now can pull it back towards the edge of the D, and he has won the first corner that Iceland have had. 7 for Argentina. This is Iceland's first. 5 minutes into the second half on TalkSport at 1-1.
I have to say, Jim, that everything good and clever that Iceland do goes through Sigurdsson. You know, he's so clever on the ball. When they've got the ball in advanced areas on their odd occasion, it's normally going through him, or he's the one delivering the cross.
Gylfi Sigurdsson will take this corner, and they've got 6 6-footers ready to attack it inside the penalty area. Ragnar Sigurdsson makes the run in towards the near post. It's delivered deeper than that. Caballero came out, tried to punch it, didn't get anywhere near it. Was headed away from him, out of his grasp. Back for Halfredson, who turns a left-footed ball inside the area. Did it hit a hand? There was some appeals that it might have done. It's cleared by the Argentinian back line. No initial signs on our monitors that that is going to be a decision that will go to VAR. The ball eventually goes out of play for a throw, which will be taken on the Argentinian right. The defender that was involved was Salvio. As we just have a look at a replay, coming over the top of him was Kari Arnason. He's headed it down, it's hit the arm of Salvio. It's coming from behind him. There was no way that that realistically could be given. The change is imminent. The first substitution, I think, will be an Argentinian one, and might well be made in a moment. They need just to shake things up. Seen little attacking intent from them in this second half so far. 6.5 gone in the second period. It's 1-1. Belia towards the edge of the penalty area. Aguero on the half turn finds Messi, opens up for Messi just for a moment. He's got 5 white shirts around it, and you get it again. Sliding challenge from Gylfi Sigurdsson's a good one. Belia picks it up, back from him to Rojo. Mascherano working it wide. Salvio will pick it up on the right hand side of the penalty area. Salvio pulls it back. Aguero tries to waltz his way through, can't do so, and Gunnarsson will clear towards halfway. Finn Borisson will chase manfully, but Otamendi wins the race and shepherds it out for a throw.
The amount of players are in and around the edge of that box when Argentina try to probe and pass and play 1-2s is incredible. You know, there's about 17 players all in the space of 10 metres. It's incredible.
Ball goes past Messi intentionally from an Argentinian perspective. Out to the left touchline for Tagliafico. Tagliafico for Di Maria on the left-hand side of the penalty area. His cross is blocked by Syverson, who stands up. Di Maria will get another opportunity, takes the ball away and finds Belia. Belia to Mascherano. Eva Banega is the player who's going to come on, and it will be Belia who will be replaced for Argentina in a moment as they continue to work it patiently.
Ele fez pela direita.
Terminó ganando Mascherano. Va Javier Mascherano. La cara de
Até porque ele é canhoto, não é?
Maradona preocupado. Y el lateral que corresponde a Islandia.
Y más allá del rendimiento de Biglia, acá la decisión fue del entrenador. Creo que asume más el costo del entrenador que el propio futbolista, porque ya sabíamos qué podía y sobre todo qué es lo que no iba a dar.
De fazer aquilo que desnorteia a marcação do outro time e a Argentina não está fazendo. A Islândia faz jogo perfeito.
See whether they've seen something tactically or whether there is a slight niggle. Just having a look at the great Maradona now, just down the touchline from us. He'll be a little bit frustrated.
Still. Yeah. Ball cleared by Mascherano on the edge of his own penalty area for Argentina. 9 minutes into the second half. Argentina 1, Iceland 1. And almost in territory for a long throw. It's not going to stop Gunnarsson trying one. Just in front of that little block of Icelandic support. He's made his way back, and he leans back over the hoardings now for a little bit of leverage. Again, plenty of spin and distance on the throw inside the penalty area. A little bit too loopy for Arnason to attack cleanly. Headed away by Otamendi on a couple of occasions. Out as far as Hallfredsson. And then Syverson will turn it all the way back to his goalkeeper. And Haldursson clears right-footed. A long ball forward, trying to turn that Argentine back line, who aren't defending in quite such an advanced position in this second half. It just dropped off 3 or 4 yards. Ball's played forward towards Mascherano. Mascherano to Messi. Messi to Tagliafico. Just drifting out to the left-hand touchline to supply the width for Argentina. Doesn't have too much to worry about coming past him, with Iceland's midfield playing in such a narrow manner. Messi has it again now. Messi, again, playing much deeper than he would like. Finding Banega. Banega to Mascherano. Mascherano. And lofted aerial ball out towards the right-hand touchline for Salvio. Salvio controls it on his chest, pulls it back, finding Otamendi. Otamendi brings the ball forward. To his right-hand side is Mesa. Mesa back for Mascherano. Again, that's the cue for Tagliafico to tiptoe backwards out towards the touchline, trying to draw Gunnarsson out of position, or Gudmundsson. Di Maria does his best to get the better of Syverson. Couldn't quite work the angle for the reverse pass, so he goes deeper instead for Mascherano. Now Messi picking it up. Lionel Messi trying to find a way through. He's beaten 3 challenges, can't beat a 4th. Aguero inside the penalty area takes it on the half turn, and eventually Magnusson comes back and blocks it, and it goes out of play for a corner.
Jim, I'm of the opinion Messi's received the ball probably about 5 or 6 times in the space of 2 minutes. He's laid most of them off, and he's gone on a Maisie then. I think he should go on a Maisie a little bit more often and make something happen.
Mesa's corner is an outswinger towards the penalty spot where Rojo climbed, but it was beaten in the air by Arnason. Comes out for the substitute, Banega. Banega to Aguero, edge of the penalty area. 1-2, Tagliafico gets a right-footed shot in, blocked by Magnusson, and it spins out of play for another Argentina throw.
Yeah, I think when Messi starts to attack anybody, it just draws other players. So all of a sudden there's maybe 2 or 3 Iceland players come and converge on him. That creates space elsewhere.
Di Maria on the left-hand touchline. He has plenty of verdant green grass to work with as he makes his way forward, but Iceland win it back, only temporarily though. And Argentina will rebuild again with Banega. Banega just tapping the ball to his right-hand side, finding Messi. Messi, another little give and go from him. He went, but didn't get the return ball from Aguero that he wanted. Hallfredsson has done such an important job in the heart of that midfield for Iceland. He's the one that's having just to stick out a foot here and nudge a knee towards the ball there, and stopping these through balls, finding Messi on the return from Aguero. And this time it's a free kick which will be taken by Iceland, and they're in no hurry to take it. Haldursson will come outside his penalty area and will just try and hit that little bit of grass between the Argentine backline and the edge of the penalty area for an Iceland player to run onto. They tried to get Magnusson forward for it, but he couldn't get there in time. It's knocked away eventually by Salvio, and out of play for a throw which will be taken on the Iceland left-hand side. 13 gone in the second half. The day that France beat Australia 2-1 but left it late, and this one is approaching the hour mark with nothing between the two teams either. 1-1 the scoreline. Bjarnason riding a challenge. Hallfredsson plays it forward. A little reverse ball from Sigurdsson. Tries to get Magnusson, the left back, outside the fullback Salvio, and it goes out for another throw. Now we're getting in Gunnarsson territory. Still, his deliveries from these long throws have been a little bit too loopy, not quite flat and whipped in hard as he would like them to be. And that one was even loopier Just let go of the ball too early. That was like an off spinner with a delivery coming out the back of the hand that time. Ended up halfway down the track. It's cleared easily. Halderson knocks it back forward. But Messi will pick it up in the midfield as the fans over on the far touchline give us another rendition of the Icelandic clap. Here's Messi towards the edge of the penalty area. It's Eva Banega in space. Left-footed shot is blocked. If he'd hit it first time, that might have been a promising position, but he just took a touch, and that allowed Ragnar Sigurdsson to come out and block it. Tagliafico from a quickly taken throw finds Banega. Banega lofts it square to Salvio. Argentina doing everything they can to get the bodies into Iceland territory now. Wall of noise from the Icelandic support. The Argentinian fans trying to block that out with noise of their own as Di Maria fires it in. Messi with a touch. Bjarnason's back to defend, and Magnusson just hammers it 70 yards upfield, where Caballero will field it well outside his own penalty area. 1-1.
Yeah, I think Argentina, when you look tactically, what can they do to change this? It's very difficult to know what to do tactically, because Iceland are not going to change the way they play, even if you change the shape of your team against them.
Eva Banega again, dropping deep, finding the opportunity to think about a shot, but as soon as he did, he had Finn Borisson, the striker, come back and close him down. And that time, as the ball was worked back for Aguero, the striker could just stick his foot in to win it back. Halfredsson then guides it back for Arneson, who neatly plays his way out, but in doing so, has just side-footed it out. And then Gunnarsson was clever, Gudmundsson, I beg your pardon, because he knew that there was a danger of a throw being taken quickly, so he just went to ground, holding his knee. The Icelandic medical staff will come on and will give him the necessary treatment.
I think basically the referee's not got to stop the game if that's the case, you know. He's gone to ground, he wants to break the memento of the game, but the referee's at liberty to say play on.
Well, he was the player that got in the end of that long-range shot about 20-30 seconds before he went down. I think he was just waiting for the ball to go off the island before he asked for treatment. More animation on the Argentine bench. Sampaoli in his dark suit and open-neck white shirt is prowling, as he has been for the majority of this second half. Not happy with what he's seeing. Iceland are doing their best to try and slow things down as much as they can. And this looks ominous as far as Gudmundsson is concerned. I think the Burnley man's going to be unable to continue, and it could well be Rurik Gislason, who plays his club football in Germany for Sandhausen, a former Charlton man, who gets the nod to come on. Well, temporarily, they're down to 10 men, are Iceland, because they haven't been able to make the change yet. Argentina restart play. Messi plays it through the midfield. At a break, actually, for Gylfi Sigurdsson. Gylfi Sigurdsson plays it for Finn Borisson. Will chase. He's overhit the pass and will be picked up by Caballero. Next time the ball goes out of play, Gislason will be on. But at the moment, it's an Argentine power play. 17 minutes into the second half. 1-1 is the scoreline here on TalkSport with Jim Proudfoot and Stuart Pearce talking you through the action. Now the ball is worked out towards the right-hand side of the midfield. Argentina still keeping solid possession. Mascherano back for Messi. Messi lofted left-footed ball inside the penalty area. Was there a shove by Magnusson? Yes, there was. Penalty to Argentina.
Well, he certainly has gone down. He was bearing in on goal. It looked as though he was going to get a header on it, but I'll be interested to know whether it was just a crossover of feet, Jim, that's brought him down. We'll see a little bit of that. Well, I think both players have got their eye on the ball. I've got to say, that is an interesting one. I'm not sure he's used his hands to topple him, but I don't see the referee overturning this one.
It just looked as though it was an inadvertent trip, really, with all eyes on the ball as Magnusson was defending his far post area. But what it has done is given Lionel Messi the opportunity to get Argentina back in front. Hasn't scored in any of his last 4 World Cup games. Ronaldo started his World Cup campaign from the penalty spot yesterday. Can Messi do likewise today? That familiar left-footed approach, and it is saved by the diving Halderson, who went to his right-hand side, and Messi's penalty is kept out by the Icelandic goalkeeper. What heavens, 1-1. The Icelandic support in raptures. That moment very much to the Vikings' liking. And Messi looks to the heavens, having missed from the spot.
Jim, I've got to say that this World Cup is just getting more and more exciting. Quite incredible. Iceland didn't look as though they looked very comfortable in the game. All of a sudden, a penalty that I wasn't so sure about. But what a good save by the goalie. He's gone nice and early to his right and got two good hands on it.
A moment he will never forget on the occasion of his 50th cap. And now the ball will be brought forward with Argentina from a corner. And Magnusson will knock that one away. Just VAR had another little look in that last phase of play for a penalty for a handball, but nothing was given. The corner was taken quickly. 1-1 the scoreline, and Messi has seen his penalty saved. How significant a moment could that prove to be? Are Iceland going to be able to get off to a positive start? Certainly in terms of the level of performance, it's been exactly that. Gislason is on now, incidentally. As the penalty was awarded, he was allowed to come on the field. The ball was played for by Arnesson. Then sliding in Finn Bodderson, the scorer of the Iceland goal. Their first ever in World Cup finals football. Has put it out of play for a throw. Throw which has been taken into the centre circle. 65 on the clock. 1-1 here. Argentina against Iceland on a cloudless sky with the odd vapour trail overhead. Beautiful summer's afternoon here in Moscow, and another epic, gripping, enthralling encounter. 1-1. Here's Messi making his way forward, and he was fouled, and that was Bjarnason with the challenge. Bjarnason's yellow card has been in the post since the very first whistle of the game, and still he's not going to be punished. And just Messi walked his way through, and that's a yellow card offence. Bjarnason turned, put his shoulder out, and made sure that Messi could find no way through. Now, Messi's just seen one save from 12 yards. What can he do from 29? This free kick just has the wall on the edge of the penalty area. It's right of centre. It's a not dissimilar position, I suppose, a little bit further out than the one that Ronaldo put away yesterday, but obviously Messi a left-footed rather than a right, and he hits it left-footed, he's curved it over the bar.
Yeah, poor effort. I've got to say, it always had too much height on it. Pleased to see Messi go on a bit of a mazy dribble there. He was fronted up by two men, but still it didn't deter him, and he said, I'm going to go and take you on. And it makes people make decisions. The Icelandic players converged on him, had to give a free kick away, and I think he's got to do more and more of that.
So much credit to the goalkeeper for the penalty save, which we've just seen again on the big screen. It wasn't a good penalty. It was that height, about 3 feet off the ground, that invites a goalkeeper to make the save, and it was by no means in the corner. So Iceland bring it forward at the other end with Gylfi Sigurdsson, always their most potent attacking threat, and his cross is deflected off Otamendi and out of play for an Iceland corner.
Yeah, I think they're a little bit flustered at the moment, Argentina. Good block on that occasion by Otamendi, stopping the cross. But every time the ball's in a set play area for Iceland, there's a problem.
It's only Iceland's second corner of the game. It'll be taken on the left flank. Gylfi Sigurdsson puts his hand over his eyes. He's looking into the sun as he prepares to take this corner. There's plenty of pushing and shoving going on. Magnusson, the tallest of the aerial targets, but he can't get there. There's too much on the ball intended for Gunnarsson at the far post. It's gone over everybody. And out of play for a goal kick. We're midway through the second half, and it's still all square, thanks to that penalty save from Halldórsson to deny Lionel Messi his first goal of this year's tournament, and his 6th in all. 1-1 the scoreline. Are Argentina going to get off to a poor start? Still plenty of time to go, of course. Messi hasn't been able to influence things in this second half. I wonder whether they're contemplating making a change and replacing the youngster. Out it goes on the right-hand touchline towards Salvio. The right-back for Mascherano. Mascherano gets it away from Gunnarsson. Played forward past the bearded Cardiff captain. And back towards Otamendi. Now to Rojo. Rojo to his left-hand side. Eva Banega, the one substitute that Argentina have introduced so far, plays a little 1-2 with Aguero. Back it goes for Mascherano again, winning his 144th cap today, the most capped Argentine player of all time. Javier Zanetti, the man whose record he's replaced, here today. He might be pulling his expensively coiffured hair out at the moment, the way that things have been going. Tagliafico winning it back, finding Banega. Higuain warming up, Dybala warming up as well. Here's Mascherano. Mascherano for Messi. Messi, another little give and go from a deep position. Aguero spins it off towards Mesa. Mesa for Di Maria. Di Maria to Mascherano. All the spaces on the Argentine right. And Salvio again receives a crossfield ball from Mascherano. And now will run and a little step over and he's pulled it back. But pulling it back behind Aguero, he couldn't get it to Tagliafico, who made another darting run from left back in towards the penalty spot. And Iceland repelled this latest attack. Only so far though, because on the edge of the centre circle, the Argentinians win it back again with Mascherano to Banega. A few of the Argentinian players look far from happy. Negative body language beginning to seep through here. Messi out towards the right-hand touchline. Aguero to Salvio. Salvio trying to turn and work the angle. His left-footed shot well blocked by Bjarnason. Finnbogason wins the second ball. Very calmly goes back to his goalkeeper, which was chancy because he had 3 Argentine players between him and goal. Goalkeeper clears it to halfway, but back it comes again with Di Maria. Argentina beginning to turn the screw here. Pull back towards the edge of the penalty area, but only as far as Gunnarsson, who can clear his lines down towards Gislason. And Mascherano has lent into the ponytailed midfielder and fouled him. Free kick to Iceland with 20 minutes to go at 1-1.
You picked up earlier, Jim, about how Fredson, about the work that he does in front of the 2 central defenders, Gunnarsson as well, the pair of them. What they do when Argentina do get the ball in wide areas, they drop back in and fill just inside the box, so there's no areas where that ball can be pulled back to. They're the areas where the goals come from.
1-1 with Halfredsson, the hero for Iceland, launching it long towards Finnbogason, the man who equalised Sergio Aguero's opener just 4 minutes after Argentina had taken the lead. It was 1-1 inside the opening quarter of the game. Kari Arnesson's poor defensive header. All of a sudden they've lost their shape. It's Messi marauding forward. Gunnarsson with a crucial flick with his left foot. He couldn't get it away from Messi, but he took the pace and momentum from the counter-attack. Now it's Ever Banega. Right-footed effort from him, swirling, but the goalkeeper got his body behind it and made a comfortable catch. But that was the first time that they'd lost their shape, and just for a moment it was 2 against 2.
That is the most dangerous time for Iceland. They're so used to being in shape with big numbers. On occasion when they do spread and do try to attack, if you leave that man Messi to attack you one-on-one, you've got a big problem. But to credit to them, they recovered shape very, very quickly, got numbers behind the ball. I've been quite impressed with Banega since he's come on. I think he's given more energy in the centre of the pitch.
Vastly experienced. It's his 63rd cap for his country today. Ever Banega, who's a Sevilla player. Now Mesa. And Mesa tries to work it away to the right-hand touchline for Salvio. That's Bjarnason's 4th yellow card offence of the day. And still he waits for his first one to actually be produced. So cynical, but why not just keep going until the referee produces a yellow card, then you change your game plan. But until he does, there are always going to be these horrible, cynical, rudimentary blocks.
Well, he knows the game inside out, Bjarnason. You can see that he's a clever player. His positional play's very good. It helps his fullback in behind him and tracking his man, and when he is slightly out of position, he's clever enough to know to block the game off with a foul.
Well, Messi had a sighter from a free kick about 6 or 7 minutes ago. He's now in a not dissimilar position, but slightly more central. Again, about 11 yards outside the penalty area. It is right of centre. The angle favours his left-footed shot. There are 5 in the wall. Left-footed, he's got it into the wall. It's not Bjarnason off his feet, but he's blocked it well. And then he comes back off Messi out towards the right flank for Mesa. And Gylfi Sigurdsson, full of industry, stops the cross at source and puts it out of play for a throw, which will be taken by Argentina. Only after the referee wanted to make sure there were no concussion issues there with Bjarnason after he'd been taken off his feet by Messi's free kick. He's okay, and play goes on. Pavon is going to be brought on very shortly for Argentina, the left-sided midfielder. Di Maria, back for Belia. And Di Maria, you would imagine, as it is Pavon who's going to be coming on, will be the player who will make way. It's been a little bit disappointing today. 1-1 with 17 minutes to go. Ball on the edge of the penalty area with Messi. Trying to work the angle for a shot. 9 between him and goal. Little 1-2 with Aguero, and Gunnarsson makes sure it doesn't come off. Then Dalin was caught in possession by Aguero. A good reading of the situation from the Manchester City player. Finds Mascherano. Back from him to Di Maria. Just past the referee. Mascherano again. Squared away for Banega. Banega, who is finding those little pockets of space, almost threaded it through for Di Maria. But those white shirts so compact, converge, the eyes of the needle so narrow, impossible to thread the right ball through. Still, they persist. They're being patient, Argentina. They're not panicking, but they're not creating chances. Only 6 shots on target in the entire game from them so far, and that's for having had 72% possession. Gylfi Sigurdsson, the Icelandic talisman, can bring it away. And now works it through the midfield out to the left-hand side for Magnusson. Herder Magnusson with a long but ultimately aimless ball forward towards the edge of the penalty area, which was easily cut out by Otamendi. And Otamendi will find Rojo, and he will bring it forward for Banega. You're with Talk Sport, your World Cup station. We've got all 64 games live for you. Brought you France's victory against Australia earlier. Is this going to be a frustration for Argentina with 1-1 the scoreline 15 minutes from time? Iceland now win a free kick, given away by Tagliafico. That will allow both managers the opportunity to make a change. Pavon for Di Maria is confirmed as the Argentinian swap, and Gunnarsson will make way for Iceland, and he's going to be replaced by Ari Skulason. Now that's an interesting one, because Skulason is a left back and he's going to come on for a central midfielder. Does that mean that they're going to move Magnusson into the middle, or is Skulason just going to play in that role? The Icelandic coaching staff are just explaining to Gislason exactly what is going to be happening. But Gunnarsson, full of industry. He's had another magnificent game. He's hardly played all season after having knee surgery. I just wonder whether it's that has been the overriding factor in the captain making way. Well, as I say, Skulason is a left back, but he's coming on at the moment on the right wing, and it's Gislason who's going to take a more advanced attacking midfield position in the centre, and Gylfi Sigurdsson is dropping that little bit deeper, and straight away has been beaten. As an opportunity for Aguero to make his way forward. He's got Pavon in support for him. Messi not in the same camera shot at the moment, as Iceland get the bodies back and win it back, and it'll be cleared by Siversen forward towards halfway. But Fimborason tries to make something happen, and of course all the time it's 1-1. One moment of magic, one brilliantly executed set piece could give Iceland an extraordinary victory.
Yeah, they certainly could. I mean, you know, I've got it in my mind, how are Argentina going to get a goal? But they only need one chance. I've got to say, Gylfi Sigurdsson has been absolutely outstanding today. What he's done in and out of possession has been so good for the team.
Pavon, left-hand side of the penalty area, drops his shoulder, tries to find a way through. Siversen with the challenge, and it's going to be a yellow card for diving, I think. The referee's going to go across and have a word with Pavon. Now, if he hasn't given a penalty there, then that does look like a blatant dive. The Argentinians, of course, want it to be reassessed on VAR, but that's a dive, and that should be a yellow card.
Well, he's got a touch on him. I've got to say, he has got Siverson's got a touch on the player. So, is it a penalty? It's a very cheap one, but as soon as he's had the touch, he's gone down.
It was the exaggerated fall, really. It was the kind of sort of half topple at 45 degrees that made up the referee's mind. But VAR happy. It's an American VAR today. Incidentally, Mark Geiger with a Polish referee, Simon Marciniak, who's very aggressive in the face of Pavon. Angry with him for going to ground, trying to deceive him. Here's Messi bringing it forward now towards the edge of the penalty area. Iceland have got to make sure that they don't lose their shape in the final 12 minutes of the game as they begin to tire. Tagliafico well back outside the penalty area now for Eva Banega. Mascherano with a straight ball, brought down brilliantly by Messi, and just as he was prepared, having controlled it to get a left-footed shot in, Siversen came from nowhere to put it over the line for a corner.
Yeah, we got a situation at the moment. The game's almost like Argentina pouring water into a dam. The dam fills up, the pressure builds up, And they're asking questions all the time. You've got to concentrate if you're an Icelandic player now.
In comes the corner from Banega. It's headed away and out of play for a throw. That's a great analogy, but at the moment it's damn Iceland as far as Argentina are concerned, because the men from the north are producing a wonderful performance, redolent of their great work at Euro 2016. Mascherano goes square to Otamendi. The centre half will bring it forward, and now Mesa in a more central position finds a little bit of space, and coming back Halfredson makes the challenge, and Mesa caught him as he stretched to get the ball. He was oblivious to the fact that he was going to come in, and it's another free kick to be taken by Iceland. The crowd, a shade over 44,000, 95% of them willing Argentina to find a way through, but at the moment it's that penalty save from Halfredson to deny Lionel Messi Argentina's second goal that is the dominant and most significant moment of the afternoon. 1-1 the scoreline with 10 to go. Bjarnason plays the ball out towards the Argentinian left. Gislason has worked it back to his goalkeeper. Halldórsson, Skúlason will chase after it, knocked away though by Tagliafico. So Skúlason is trying to do a job and stop Tagliafico pushing forward. He's a fullback playing on the right hand side of midfield, almost as an auxiliary full-back himself. Now they can bring it forward. Bjarnason out towards Gislason. Was he caught by Salvio? The referee says no. But Salvio got a touch on the ball, so it's a throw to Iceland. 10 yards from the corner flag. This is where they need the long Gunnarsson throw, but of course he's gone off now.
I think from Iceland's point of view, they'll just be delighted to be up the other end of the pitch and give them a respite. They're starting to appear the odd gap in the midfield areas, and Iceland need to keep that nice and strong, keep it filled, stay with your runners.
It's Magnusson's long throw this time that tries to cause problems, but like his predecessor, he couldn't quite get the line of attack right, and Argentina easily knock it away. It hasn't been a potent weapon so far this afternoon. They've only got to get it right once though. Gislason back for Magnusson, headed away from Gylfi Sigurdsson by Mascherano, and now another opportunity for Argentina to bring it forward with the Mercurial Messi trying to find the way through, and Magnusson has gone in almost with his upper arm in bringing Argentina player down on the edge of the area. Messi just wide, and only just wide. He got it onto his left foot, 20 yards out, rifled one towards goal. Halldórsson threw himself across the line and probably just about had it covered. Might not have done, having seen the replay, but it went a whisker wide of the post.
Well, all the Iceland players stopped there. They were fully expecting Bjarnason's challenge to be pulled up for a free kick. The one person who didn't stop was Messi, and he just didn't get enough curl on the ball. I think if he had, he'd have scored. But once again, those gaps opening slightly again.
They're asking the questions. They're finding the answers in turn at the Iceland back line. And now they will try and push forward on the counter-attack. They can't get too far. That's an Argentina throw. The last throw of the dice is imminent. Mesa is going to be coming off. And surely it's going to be Gonzalo Higuain who will come on. The man who scored 5 World Cup goals in 11 games. 4 in 4 in the 2010 World Cup, including a hat-trick against South Korea, and scored the winner against Belgium in the quarter-finals in 2014. He will come on, the Juventus striker, hoping to score in a 3rd World Cup. Tagliafico, the left back, brings it forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Pavon is in support. Pavon trying to find a way past Syverson. He's turned one way, quickly, backtracks, goes back the other. Here on the edge of the penalty area, Eva Banega finding Lionel Messi. Messi once more doing everything he can to get it onto his left foot. Gylfi Sigurdsson likewise manfully stopping that happening, but the return ball comes from Eva Banega, and then a little nutmeg of Banega from Bjarnason as they play their way out. Gylfi Sigurdsson looking for an out ball, there isn't one. Referees let so much go, and does again there as Gylfi Sigurdsson and Mascherano were both at it. Back it comes for Messi now. Messi curving it towards the edge of the penalty area. Tagliafico with the layoff. Right footed shot from Pavon is blocked bravely by Syverson, and it ricochets out to halfway.
I'm seeing a lot of tired Icelandic players there. The manager on the touchline for Iceland's waving his arms frantically, trying to get his team at it. As I say, one or two gaps just opening now. One or two players just walking where they were sliding around. And that is danger signs for me, for Iceland.
Here's Messi. Towards the edge of the penalty area. Left-footed shot from him. And that's ricocheted and gone all the way through and out for a goal kick. I think I'm right in saying there's been a goal in the last 10 minutes of every game at the tournament so far. Well, I think in 4 of the 5 there's been a result-changing goal in the last 10 minutes. Will there be one here? Higuain coming on.
I've got to say, if I was a betting man, I would say Argentina will score a goal in the last 10 minutes or so.
Well, Higuain's on. Had that 95th minute own goal winner for Iran yesterday. Is there going to be similar late drama here? Ronaldo's late goal, Pogba's goal in the last 10 minutes today to give France the victory against Australia. We've got 6 minutes to go here, and it's 1-1. Higuain involved in the action straight away by being kicked up in the air. Has a free kick, taken quickly by Messi. 1-2 between him and Eva Banega, and the referee said, take it again, please, I wasn't watching. Mascherano does. He obliges by knocking it to his right-hand side. And out it goes to that touchline for Salvio. Salvio for Mascherano. Argentina still patient, to give them credit, not panicking, but can they find the way through? Pavon looking for Tagliafico, the fullback, can't find him. Mascherano this time has fouled his man. Gylfi Sigurdsson's won the free kick, which will be taken 10 yards outside his own penalty area, and they will take that as late as they possibly can get away with. They're doing everything they can to run the clock down, but Jaime Hallgrímsson has again done a wonderful job. He was the man who replaced Lars Lagerbäck after Euro 2016. They were joint coaches for that tournament. He's now in sole control. It was a great qualification campaign for them, 7 wins out of 10, and although their recent form has been inauspicious, when it's mattered, they've delivered. 1-1 is the scoreline. And they are still just one potential moment of brilliance away from an extraordinary victory that will send shockwaves around the world of football. Messi towards the halfway line. It'll be played out towards the right-hand touchline. And now the barrel-chested Higuain will pick up possession. He's got options in the middle. Low ball in towards Aguero. Knocked away by Kari Arnason. And out of play for a throw.
There's a lot of Iceland players chasing the ball back to their own